Hey guys, Jay Johnson here, Transgender Support. Today I wanted to do the first of a few videos that I'll do throughout the weeks, which really focuses on the realities of many people's journey, which is potential loss. Sometimes, unfortunately, in many cases actually, in order to go forward and be our most positive selves, we can expect that we might have some loss in our lives, which is really sad. Now, one thing I do want to say is, for many people, including myself, as you go through and you start to explore your journey, don't assume that everything will be lost, okay? Don't assume your contacts and your relationships are going to leave you. Don't assume you're going to have a problem with your work, because we get in our heads and we think this is all going to be a problem. And many times we're pleasantly surprised, but unfortunately many times we're not. And just to give you the first of many real anecdotal stories for me is one that I will share, and I want to be very careful because it's about work. And I've had allies reach out and say, well, how can we be sensitive to things that our trans friends are going through? Well, think about, for many trans people, our livelihood and just eating and a safe place to live is a constant thought, right? And imagine that being challenged even more when you think either I'm going to have trouble getting a job, or the job I'm at currently may not be welcoming to my starting this journey and accepting and being who I truly am. Now, I will tell you, this is something that I went through. Now, the part that I have to be careful about is, I won't name names of where I was, but I worked actually at a place I thought was really, really open and really, really fantastic for all LGBTQIA+, all queer related topics. Almost all of the feedback I got, whether it was direct or indirect, showed me from the CEO down that it was a supportive environment, okay? I say all that to now say, even with that, I wasn't in a place where I felt 100% sure that I could stay there. I didn't know that I would be in a place where if people start to notice I start to look slightly different, maybe I start to sound slightly different. I was a senior manager, and the worry about that really got to me. And so it's not the only reason I left. It's not even the primary reason I left. Again, just to be very clear, because this is just my own story. But I want to be very clear also that it is something that was really at the forefront of my mind for a very long time. And I kept thinking, how do I navigate this? And keep in mind, this is me telling you what I was thinking, even being at a place that showed that support, that offered that assistance. And most places aren't like that, so consider if you're at a space where you're even asking yourself, well, what is the executive stance on trans-friendly policies at work, etc. The fact that you don't know may mean that your trans friend also doesn't know. And if people don't know, there's a good chance that those trans-friendly and trans-supportive policies don't exist, okay? And that's going to be from everything to how is my name going to be represented on my emails, to which bathrooms I could use, to every part of your interaction with all the various folks at your job. So it is an absolutely real consideration. And in my case, I'll say again, I felt nervous about it. I felt anxious. And that's me coming from a place that set itself up as being very supportive. And I appreciate that, by the way, to that company. But I think about many of my friends, many people I hear from, they don't even start with that space. And if I was in that space and I still felt nervous, imagine how most people feel who don't know what's the direction going to be. How's my boss going to take it? How are my coworkers going to respond? Will I be safe to come to work? There's all kinds of considerations. So this is more of a message to my trans family to say, I know that it's something that can be scary. I definitely like talking to people about different ways to navigate it. Usually I do that offline, but also to the allies out there. And I'm so happy to be hearing from so many allies to just be very sensitive. It's not just something that people concoct, like, well, what are you so worried about? Why do you think it's going to be different? There's absolutely reason why we as trans people have these concerns. So it's something to be sensitive about, but it is something that as we try to continue to work as a growing community, as trans people and allies, we will get better and better at navigating. I do have hope for that. And as always, I thank you for listening to this message. and I hope you have a great day.